All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody watching, welcome in. Today we're going to have a little bit of a different stream. As you can see by the title, we got banned. It's not clickbait, it's not a joke, and you can even prove it, or I can prove it, by checking on the game. In the bottom right-hand corner, if you look closely, there's a space in between the V and the number of the version of the game. If there's a space in between those two, you are flagged or banned. Now, this ban isn't a permanent ban. It is a 1 week ban. So at least it's not forever, but it's because of some things that happened in Season 37, the most recent season in Bloons TD Battles 2. If you don't know, I was trying to grind on the Hall of Masters leaderboard for top 10. My original goal was top 10 on the leaderboard. But top 3 was really within reach. So I decided to change my goal from top 10 to top 3. Obviously, top 3 is going to be harder, but a lot came with grinding for this that we're going to be getting into, okay? I don't have alerts on, by the way, so please do not donate. Please do not, subscribe or anything like that. It's not going to show up because I have a PowerPoint presentation that I would like to share. Also, I did not go live on Twitch. Let me do that really quick. Hello, Twitch. And I'm going to be uploading this VOD as well as a YouTube video. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay? I got banned. No joke, no clickbait. I'm nervous right now. So please bear with me, but I'm a little nervous because I don't do stuff like this. But it is not clickbait, okay? Your boy got banned. Now, what is the purpose of me doing this stream and this presentation for you? It's not for drama or hate, okay? I don't want any drama or any hate of any kind being sent to anybody, okay? That includes myself, the people that are involved, Ninja Kiwi, just no hate, okay? But rather honesty and fairness. Also, I have major passion for the game, if you don't know. I've supported Bloons and Ninja Kiwi for years. I started uploading on this channel in 2016 of December. So usually I just say 2017 because it's pretty much 2017. But I've been doing Bloons for quite some time. And it's the reason why I'm here today doing this live stream. And still, making content and whatnot. The last season was my first ever grind. So it's the first season to where I really took it seriously and put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, not literally, but the main thing that I put into the game was time. I put a lot of time into the most recent season to get that top 3 batch. Again, top 10 was the original goal, but top 3, we ended up changing it to that. But also the last reason for purpose is manipulated and unfair. And the end of the season, the last season, was pure chaos. And a lot unraveled. Pretty much like the rest of the season, like the first part of the season, everything was fine. But truly, when it came down to the last few hours, a lot just got rocky. Now, I'm going to get into my mistake here because I'm not perfect. I am human, and I did make a mistake here. I'm going to be honest. Boosting occurred. What is boosting? Boosting is essentially when you just give yourself a free win or somebody gives you a free win in order to gain more score or elo for the leaderboards. So what happened was I played my alt account. You guys know my main account's Boltrix. My alt account is I messed that up. My main account's Boltrix. My alt account is Bloontrix. I had a friend who played on my alt account. They ended up queuing at the same time as me. We found each other, and I did this twice with less than 2 hours left of the season. So only 2 games. But for those 2 games, the elo/score that was gained was 28. So just keep that in mind because that's how the elo system works, or the leaderboard or whatever. But I don't have any excuses. Just transparency. I just wanted to be honest because obviously boosting is not allowed. Giving free wins is not allowed. It's against the rules. And it was against my own all account, which is pretty obvious. We'll get more into why that happened. I kind of don't want to like spew out like a bunch of reasonings because like I don't want it to like sound like I'm just trying to make a bunch of excuses. But of course there is a reason behind this. Another mistake was it just says fix it yourself. That pretty much means that I just tried to fix a problem that I encountered without reporting it directly to Ninja Kiwi. And I have direct connections with Ninja Kiwi, and that's what I should have done. But we'll get more into that later. So I'd say those are my 2 mistakes. This is a PowerPoint that I created, so you could argue there's more mistakes. But yeah, those are the main 2 for sure. Next slide is community pressure and targeting. And by the way, I'm also sorry for committing said mistakes. I don't think I said that. So I messed up and I'm taking accountability for my actions and I do apologize. Again, we'll get more back into that later, but community and pressure and targeting. So because I'm a creator, that automatically means that I have a target on my back, right? It's just what you have to sign up for when you become a creator for any game really, right? People want to play against you. Some people support you. Some people don't, right? Not everyone wanted me to fail though. I have to remember that and I have to relay that message because I feel like sometimes it's like human nature to focus on the negatives. So an example that I'll give you is that I can get 100 YouTube comments and out of those 199 of those comments could be positive, but that one negative comment will stick out. It will stick out so much that it will make me forget that there's 99 other comments that are supportive. So I have to realize that I honestly had much more support than much more people wanting me to fail. Now, as you can see on the right, there's a screenshot from a Discord server where they say, I love you at player and you are dog bleep at Boltrix. This is a random account, a random alt account on Discord where they pinged me. It has really no significance. It's just kind of there to show you like there are people against me and people are willing to do whatever it takes to bring me down. Okay. Now, we have intentional sniping, nuking, and lag switching. Okay. So there is a whole tracking server that I would actually like to show you guys. I kind of forgot to do this. Okay. That's not what I want, but that's okay. So I kind of want to just show you guys this tracker server, which probably isn't the greatest idea, but I really just want to explain everything. So if we go ahead and go to this tracker server here, pretty much in the general, okay, general actually doesn't matter. In the tracking channel, it's not up to date for this season, I believe. But if you are in the tracker server, you can pretty much just see whenever anyone plays a match in the Hall of Masters. It lets you know who gains score, who loses score, and it updates every 5 minutes. So you can kind of use this to your advantage or disadvantage because sometimes people will like to use this server to snipe me, to snipe other players, Ryan Mahalik, etc., right? So you can use it in some good ways, but also some bad ways. Obviously, I would probably not want it because it just feels like you can snipe people pretty easily. There's even a dedicated channel called Times List. Now, I used to be on here, but because I got banned, I'm not on here anymore. But this is just a quick example. It keeps track of the last time that every like top player has played, Ryan Mahalik, NVG Bloons, etc. So like you can just see the last time that somebody played in a match. And I used to be in this channel, like I said, because I got banned, I'm not in the channel technically, but I was also in this channel. So people could just go to this channel and it'd be like, oh, Boltrix last played in a match 20 minutes ago. So they could know if I'm online or not online recently. So just wanted to bring that out there. Furthermore, we have good players, but with low elo. Oh yeah, also I have a screenshot of the tracker server on the right. You can see that I gained 10 score at 2:19 a.m. I gained 10 score on 11/21/2025. So that means against Dylan, I beat Dylan. You can kind of just like connect the dots here. player gained 31 score. Black Hammer lost 31. And so on and so forth, right? So, like I said, good players, but with low elo. This is nuking. This is what I like to call elo nuking or nuke alt accounts. Pretty much, even myself, I could create an alt account, make it to Hall of Masters, and then just lose a bunch of games as if I were a bad player. But in reality, I know what I'm doing. I'm intentionally, purposely losing games so that I have a low score on the leaderboard. So when I find someone that has a high score on the leaderboard, I can actually compete with them because in reality, I'm not as bad as my elo reflects. And when I beat someone, if you are low elo and you beat somebody with a very high elo, then you will take a lot of elo from them because that high elo person should not be losing to someone that's super low elo, right? That just doesn't make sense. High elo should always beat lower elo. But again, these are alt accounts purposely and intentionally losing so that they take away a lot of elo from these higher level players. And with the tracking server that we were talking about, these nuke alts are able to easily track when I play, when other people play, whoever they want to nuke plays. Next, we have lag at the right time with lag switching. Yes, lag switching is a problem not only in Battles 2. I'm sure people have heard the term lag switching before. It is a problem in Battles 2. I wouldn't say it's a massive problem because it's sometimes hard to pinpoint if the person you're playing against is lag switching or if they happen to just be a laggy player. Now, sometimes it's quite obvious, and I actually have an example that I would like to show you guys of a very obvious lag switcher. Just give me 1 minute because where did I freaking put it, dude? Okay, we got it right here. So, right here, this clip was provided by Madoka or Maduki, who is a friend of mine. Shout out to him. Against Black Hammer 00. You're gonna see Black Hammer 00 again. I don't want any hate of any sort to go out to these people, to anyone. I said this at the start of the stream, but some people have to be noted. Now, with this game, I'm just gonna show you this clip. Let's just start from the beginning here. As you can see, both players are running Tack Farm Wizard on Koru. Looks like a pretty normal game. Both of them selling into the Necromancer, as you can see. Okay. Look at Black Hammer's connection. He has 3 bars. Notice it goes to 1 right at the start of round 11 almost. And then he immediately rushes and balloon boost and sells all of his farms. He's all outing. And as you can see, Madoka tries the micro and he can't efficiently micro because Black Hammer just lag switched him. And when you lag, it's harder to micro. It's hard to execute actions in the game. So this is a on purpose lag switch. It's very, very evident. Because if you take a look at the connection, it's back to 3 bars. Isn't that interesting? Very, very interesting. So this exists. I wouldn't say this is a massive issue, but it is a thing. Okay? So we'll get that out of there. But my last point with this is added pressure. So when it comes to sniping, anyone can snipe. Anyone can nuke all. People can lag switch if they know how to do it. Obviously, all bad things. Don't do these things. But with all this, it is very, very pressuring and very, very scary to queue if you're me, you know, because there are people that are out to get me. They're out to ruin my grind for top 3. And so it is very, very scary to just click play match or ranked match, right? Knowing that players like this exist out there. And I've encountered them multiple times throughout the entire season. But especially at the end of the season, it was pretty bad. Now, next we got boosting evidence in match patterns. So, suspicious matchups. There were a lot of them. We have early round losses, which don't normally happen in the Hall of Masters. You know, it's possible for anyone to die early on. I get that. But when you're in the highest arena, it's less likely, right? Because you're in the highest arena. So you should be somewhat good at the game. You should not probably be dying on round 3 or round 5 or round 8, you know? It happens still, but it's very unlikely. And we'll get more into that, by the way. I have a bunch of evidence that I would like to show you. It's not just like this screenshot. And this screenshot, it's kind of random, but illegitimate wins. So easily 10 plus wins were illegitimate. This is in regards to the player that was below me on the Hall of Masters leaderboard. And I actually have something that I would like to show you guys. Just give me 1 second. Right here, we have a screenshot from Kevin Gaming. 64, shout out to Kevin, appreciate you. But with 1 second left of the season, their leaderboard wasn't up to date, okay? But as you can see, I'm in 3rd place right here. Player is in 4th place. Yeet Boy, 2nd. These players are out of reach, but as you can see, both me and player are pretty close in score, right? Really, really close, okay? And keep this in mind. Keep this individual in mind right here, player. Again, no sending of hate or anything, but it's important to note. By the way, I am not reading chat, okay? Because I need to focus on this presentation. So appreciate everybody for being here, though. Now, like I said, easily 10 plus wins. 400 plus ELO was awarded to that player that we were just talking about versus my illegitimate win or wins, 2 wins of 28 ELO against my alt account. High ELO players. The reason why I put this as a little bullet point is because those easily 10 plus wins were against high ELO opponents that player received. Okay? We'll get more into that very soon. Changed leaderboard ranking. So essentially, because of these illegitimate wins, it changed the leaderboard ranking drastically. Okay? There are alts, nukers, boosters everywhere. Everywhere. The final hours of the season especially, it was absolutely flooded. Absolutely pure manipulation of the rank system. There was no avoiding it. It was very, very, very scary to queue. So, I am obviously being biased, but some people can attest that it is way more negative for me, but positive for others. Okay? Now, we're going to get into some actual evidence here. Okay? Now, we don't know if player has coordinated this, because if you don't know who player is, their name is literally player, by the way. If you don't know who player is, they have a ton of aura. And what I mean by that is that nobody knows who they are. They literally don't, they haven't come out and said, oh, I'm player, Maybe they're just being low-key about it. Maybe we do know them, but without knowing that that's player. Anyway, that's beside the point, okay? Per Chance is the one on the left. This is a match they had in the Hall of Masters, ranked, Sun Palace of the map, duration 146 seconds, and the ending round of this match was round 5. Per Chance is in the red, player's in the green. So, player won a match against Per Chance on round 5 when Per Chance is using Tack Farm Wizard Cyber Quincy as their strategy. Now, I've used Tack Farm Wizard Cyber Quincy quite a bit. It did get nerfed in the most recent update. But you don't die on round 5 on Sun Palace with that. That just does not happen. That is very unusual activity, to say the least. Now, as you can see right here, this is the season 37 leaderboard. Sorry, I'm not trying to laugh. Being serious, and I'm also nervous. But here's the season 37. I got removed because I got banned. But if we scroll down a little bit, Per Chance, the player that we were just talking about, remember? In this screenshot that died on round 5? They're actually ranked 21st in the entire world. When it was all said and done the last season, 21st in the entire world. So player, whenever they beat them, got a decent amount of elo because 21st is pretty high, right? But also, with being ranked 21st, would you assume that somebody using Tack Farm Wizard Cyber Quincy would die round 5? Doesn't seem very believable. We haven't even gotten to the next game right here. Black Hammer 0-0. Remember the name that we brought up earlier? Black Hammer, the lag switcher. Usually if someone's lag switching, they're open to just do whatever, right? Lag switching, it's not good. It's scummy. You shouldn't do it. Again, no hate, but it's obviously a negative thing. Usually people that do negative things will also do anything else that's negative. They're more willing, right? Well, Black Hammer, 0-0, played against player, and they died on round 3. Okay? Black Hammer was a top 25 player on the leaderboards. So again, this isn't some random Hall of Masters noob that's like bottom of the leaderboard. No, we are talking about a top 25 player dying on round 3. This all happened, by the way, all this evidence happened within like the last couple of hours of the season. Okay? This isn't just like a random time. No. With 2, 3, maybe even less than 2 hours left. This all happened. Here's the leaderboard again. Okay? Again, player is getting 2 wins right there. Those are just 2 as well. 2. But 1 on round 3. 1 on round 5. Okay? Next, remember, we were talking about on this slide. There are alts, nukers, boosters everywhere. Again, all this evidence is within the last few hours of the last season. So, we got Me So Numb on the left. And then we got Banana on the right, who is Mawo. Mawo ranked 5th on the leaderboards. Okay? Top 5 player. As you can see, the person on the left, Got Me So Numb, ended up surrendering the game on round 1. Okay? Which is a little strange, right? Sometimes, life happens. You got something to do. So be it, right? But, of course, it's a little strange. Another screenshot. Again, this all happened around the same time period. Got Me So Numb once again. On a different map against Crunkette. Another Hall of Masters player. Dying on round 2. So essentially surrendering / giving their opponent the win. Okay? This is what nuke alts do. This is what alt accounts do. Because they don't care about their actual elo. Because it's their alt account. Usually people only care about their alt or their elo on their main account. So, remember that Got Me So Numb on those last 2 screenshots where they gave the win on round 1 and round 2. When Got Me So Numb played against me, you can see right here, this happened within the last couple of hours of the season, not even. When Got Me So Numb played against me, the game went to round 23. I still won the game, but the game went to round 23. So why is it that Got Me So Numb surrenders here on round 1 against Mawo, essentially surrenders here, against Crunkette on round 2, but against me, we make it to round 23. This is a player that is targeting me and trying to ruin my grind. Now, I have another game right below. Got Me So Numb once again, but this time against player. Well, the game is on Precious Space. They are mirror matching using the same strategy, but Got Me So Numb dies on round 5. Now, this is important to know. What map did Got Me So Numb play against player on? Precious Space. A good Dartling Gunner map. A good DVS map. In fact, on that map, you could even explode the asteroids for extra money. So on this map, you're going to have more money than what you would normally have on other maps, right? So surely if you have more money, then it should overall be a little bit easier to defend. Thus, you should be able to go later. Well, Got Me So Numb down on round 5. But against me on Basalt Columns with the same strategy, they were able to make it to round 23. Basalt Columns is a more difficult map. You'll have less money. Dartling's still good on that map, don't get me wrong. But it's just a little fishy that Got Me So Numb is able to make it much later on a more difficult map, but die round 5 on an easier map against player, the person that was right below me on the leaderboards. Now I have a screenshot on Discord from Mawo, that's Banana, the person that we were talking about earlier where they got this win. Mawo says, I would love to know the statistical probability of this happening without the 2 being in contact. Okay. And as you can see, Black Hammer is all on the left, and they're all on the red, and player is all on the right, and they're all on the green. Red indicates that you lost. Green indicates that you won. Okay? So that means Black Hammer, in this screenshot alone, lost 6 times every single time. Okay? So, I gotta find this. Beautiful. So if we pull this up, we go full screen here. As you can see, this is players' recent match history. In fact, the 25 most recent games they have played. They have not played a game in this season yet. They usually don't until like halfway through the season. But let's go through this really quick. So we got player versus Black Hammer. The game ended on round 11. We got player versus Perchance. The game ended on round 11. Then we got player versus Black Hammer again. The game ended on round 24 this time, though. Then we got player versus Perchance again. This time it ended on round 8, when Perchance went Tack Farm Wizard. Then we got Me So Numb. Do you remember the person that tried to beat me? But then they died on round 5 against player? Yeah, well, this time they went to round 31. We'll give them that. But with using Tack Farm Wiz. Then player got Perchance again. Okay, mind you, player is insta-queuing at this point. He is instantly clicking play match, like right after he just finished his previous one. So player found Perchance again. So at this point, Perchance has been found 3 times. Black Hammer has been found twice. Got Me So Numb has been found once. Oh, sorry. He found Black Hammer again after Perchance. Okay. And then he found Got Me So Numb again. Okay. Mind you, Black Hammer, Perchance, and Got Me So Numb are all alt accounts. Wouldn't call them nukers because they were decently ranked on the leaderboard, but they are all alt accounts. Then you got player versus Buff Dude. Okay. Most likely a legitimate match. Also, I found this kind of funny that player versus Got Me So Numb on this time got to round 8, but the time before was on round 31 on the same exact map. Anyway, this is probably player's first legitimate match where their opponent wasn't giving them the win or whatever the case may be. So, player versus Buff Dude, round 31. Then we got player versus Crunkat, another legitimate match here. Now we're back to player versus Black Hammer again. On round 16 it ended. Now we got player versus Perchance again. Mind you, this all happened again. I'm going to reiterate, this all happened again with only a few hours left in the season. Players finding Perchance and Black Hammer this many times with all these people queuing and whatnot. Then we got player versus Black Hammer again. Then we got player versus Perchance again. Then we got player versus Dylan. Player versus Crunkat again. Player versus Banana, Mawo. Player versus Great Goat. And as you can see, it goes back to like normal to where it's like, you know, a variety of opponents, right? But one more time. One more time. Black Hammer versus player. And also, oh no, this is clearly, that is not so good strategy for that map. Oh, I'm sorry, wait. He found Black Hammer again. Sorry. One more time. They found Black Hammer once again. So, this is only over the span of like 1, 2, maybe not even 3 hours, okay? I got more evidence. This is just another screenshot of an alt account named Boss Monkey who is just spamming glues round 1. This is just to show you that there are a bunch of alt accounts on looking for specific people. So yeah, keep that in mind that again, the rank system, the queue was flooded with all of this nonsense. Another. This is all from Mawo, by the way. There was probably even more of this happening, but Mawo was smart enough and kind enough to also just post these screenshots of this happening. Oh, and by the way, this is not like player. This is definitely another player that just happens to be named player. Now, there is a Discord bot for Battles 2 that tracks stats. It's very nice. It's in my Discord server. It's very, very helpful. So, we have the wins and losses for Season 37. Okay? So out of the entire season, Black Hammer and Player played 8 times. Player beat Black Hammer all 8 times. Okay, maybe Player's just a better player than Black Hammer, right? Okay. Well, actually, all 8 of those games happened within the last day of Season 37. All 8. And here's the seasonal stats for Black Hammer. Black Hammer placed 25th on the leaderboards. They were 115 wins, 30 losses, a 79% win rate, which is pretty respectable. But from November 19th, 2025 at 152 to November 21st, so the last 2 days of the season, they went from a 79% win rate to a 21% win rate. They went 3-11. And remember, so they played 14 games. Out of those 14 games, 8 of them were against Player. They only had 1 hour and 12 minutes of playtime. And they managed to find Player 8 times within that 1 hour and 12 minutes. Mao was kind enough to include this screenshot. At one point, the season started October 19th. So when it was November 1st, at that point, Black Hammer had an 86% win rate. They had an 86% win rate. But you're meaning to tell me that the last day they went, what was it, 21%? And they also couldn't beat Player? It's a little interesting. Now, Black Hammer has gotten banned, thankfully. But I just want to show you guys how suspicious this looks. It just looks insanely suspicious. So, now we've got the wins/losses for Season 37 against Perchance and Player. Now, Perchance has actually beaten Player. Okay, we'll give them that. Fair play. But on the last day, they went 6-0. Player won all 6 times that they played. So you mean to tell me that before the final day, the record stood as 3 wins for Perchance, 4 wins for Player, so almost a 50% win rate for Perchance. But on the final day, the most important day, the final 100-meter stretch, Perchance loses all 6 times. I find that very interesting. Now, I included a screenshot of when Sam from Ninja Kiwi flagged this player named Dippins. Now, Dippins, I talked about him before. I'm not sure too much or how much on my YouTube channel, but Dippins was an Elo nuker. Okay? He was bottom of the barrel when it came to the Hall of Masters leaderboard, but he knew what he was doing. Okay? This is what we like to call an Elo nuker once again. But on 11/6, so November 6th of 2025, Dippins was banned or flagged. By the way, they did unflag him, and he's also a lag switcher, so I don't know why they unflagged him. That was kind of random, but I saw that he was unflagged today. He was playing in the Hall of Masters. Anyway, right here, I have a screenshot of a command that I did for this player called Got Me So Numb, who actually happened to change their name on the last day of the season. Their former name was That Top Ninja 2. But for whatever reason, they decided to change their name last second. Anyway, 56% win rate, 128 losses or wins, 98 losses, whatever, right? But the important thing here is that the stat difference says it's between November 7th, 2025 and November 21st. November 21st was the day that the season ended, season 37. Why does it say November 7th, you may ask? That is because this account, a brand new account, by the way, entered into the Hall of Masters on November 7th, 2025. Probably not the exact time, but on that day, they entered into the Hall of Masters. Brand new, fresh account, made it straight to Hall of Masters, used the same strategy to get all the way up, tack from Wiz. So clearly this is an alt account. This player knows what they're doing, and they made it immediately to Hom. So, why is November 7th important? Well, if we go back here, Sam let me know that the player Dippins was flagged. on 11/6/2025. So the very next day, this brand new account got into the Hall of Masters. I don't know. I would probably have to say this is freaking Dippins. Okay? I'm putting two and two together. Now, this is just me, but I've played against both Got Me So Numb and both Dippins, and they play the same exact way. You just have to take my word for it. They play the same exact way. And it's one of those things where it's like a Sergeant Dokes moment, or, you know, an L from Death Note moment, where you know somebody is somebody, or you know they did something, you just can't technically prove it. I would put everything that I have on Got Me So Numb being Dippins. I just can't technically prove it. But they play the same exact way. The account was created right after Dippins got flagged, and now he's unflagged too, by the way. An Elo nuker and a lag switcher. Ninja Kiwi decided to unflag. I don't know why, but that's their decision. I just wanted to throw that in there to be a little funny. Now, with Got Me So Numb once again, the final day, a little bit less than a day, but last day of the season, they went 6-20 with a 23% win rate. They lost 1,200 Elo on the last day. But if you remember, they had a 56% win rate. So how did they go from a 56% win rate all the way down to a 23 last day? A little suspicious. And I have this screenshot right here where Got Me So Numb, a.k.a. Dippins, a.k.a. That Top Ninja too. He lost 3 times. Now remember, it might not seem like that much. 3 games, per chance he got 6 wins against player. Black Hammer got 8 wins, or gave that many wins, 8 wins to player. But Got Me So Numb only 3. But it's important to note that every win does in fact matter, because your boy right here got banned for 2 games, granting 28 Elo. So I thought this was important to know. I didn't want to let this slide. And this is all of just what I know. There could be more of this happening with other accounts. I have no idea. Obviously, I don't have all the data in the world to track all this, but this is what I have concluded and what I've researched. Now, this just shows when Dippins wasn't banned, before they got flagged on the 6th of November, my win-loss against them. As you can see, they were ranked 724th, bottom of the barrel for the Hall of Masters. And I was ranked 4th. Yet they managed to beat me 8 times. So you mean to tell me that somebody ranked in the bottom part of the Hall of Masters was able to beat someone that's ranked in the top 5 8 times? Granted, I'm kind of bad for losing that many times. I got better, okay? I did get better. I got better throughout the season, but definitely should not be losing 8 times to this guy. He's not crazy good, but he knows what he's doing. That's the thing. He knows that he's purposely and intentionally losing Elo, so that when he gets a high Elo player, he takes a lot from them. Okay? Now, we got Dippins right here. As you can see, this is their stats. Like I said, obviously Elo nuker. So they were able to beat me 8 times. But look at their win rate. 24%. 147 losses. I'm not the greatest player out there. Okay? But this is a little suspicious, of course. Now that's about all the evidence that I got. Okay? Now let's get into how this affected my ranking. So pretty much, boosted wins overtook my ranking. Okay, all of what we just went over. The per chance wins. Mind you, again, like all of what we just went over, from per chance, Black Hammer, and Got Me So Numb, none of those 3 beat player once. None of them. None of them beat player once. But boosted wins, I would call those boosted wins. Overtook my ranking. Last second chaos. The reason why I put that is because this all happened when there was only a few hours left, if that, of the season. So I pretty much had top 3 secured until These people just gave their elo away to player. Now, Nuker wins, of course. I showed you my win-loss against Dippins, 9-8. That happened way earlier in the season. But every time that I lost, he took a lot of elo from me. So although I have one more win against Dippins, when it comes to elo, he definitely has the upper advantage against me. He took more elo from me, that is for sure, because he had way less elo. So losing insane amounts of elo illegitimately, because of course, that player should not be ranked that low. They just did it on purpose. Panicking and hopeless, okay? So I didn't really get into this. But all the way back, let's go all the way back. All the way back to the third slide. I want to address my mistake first because I don't want to like hide the fact that I messed up. But of course, do not forget, me, I played against my alt account. So what happened? Now that I think it's okay to more explain this, because I didn't want to explain at first, it sounded like I was making excuses. But the reason why this happened was because of all what we just talked about. The absolute manipulation of the queue system. People giving away elo to player. Whether or not he wanted it, they were getting the wins. They probably knew what was happening. And, you know, I don't know. It's like, we don't know if player asked for it or coordinated it or not, but it happened regardless, right? So, in response to that, again, I pretty much had top 3 secured, but in response to all the boosted elo that player received, I was panicking. I was not in the right state of mind. And I had a friend suggest that they snipe me on my alt account, even though it's quite obvious that, you know, Bloons, Boltrix, yeah, that's definitely not a good look. But I was panicking. I was scared to queue because all of the nukers on, all of the alt accounts on, the boosted happening. Player was going up rapidly in elo. I mean, there was one point where player went up 90 elo or something like that within 10 minutes, which is crazy at the amount of score that we were at. 90 elo was a lot of score to go up in 10 minutes. So, again, remember too that I only gained 28 elo. When player was winning against like Black Hammer, Perchance, top 25 players. That top ninja wasn't top 25, but Black Hammer and Perchance specifically, they were both top 25. When player was winning against them, player was definitely going up close to 30 elo. Okay, if you want to just be generous and be safe, at least 20. Definitely more than that, but at the bare minimum, 20 elo per game. I went up 28 in total for 2 games. Okay, so let's go back to where we were at, which is which is right here. So, like I said, I was panicking and feeling hopeless. Friend sniped me, thinking he was helping. I don't blame my friend. It's my fault. Should have, because like it was like kind of one of those things where you didn't want it to happen, but when it happened, you're like, all right, whatever. Because like, you know, you're getting free elo. So obviously looking back on it, it was stupid. It was really, really dumb. And I wish I could take it back. But throughout the entire season, I never sniped my alt. I have two matches against my alt. That's it. It only happened within the last few hours because of everything that was happening. So in response to that, I did what I did. So what if it did not happen? What if everything that happened to player, all these players that are in T25 losing, again, Perchance and Black Hammer, both top 25 players, lost in total 14 games. What if that did not happen? What if these players weren't even on? What if they just won some of the games? You know, they should, right? Especially Perchance, he beat player before. Black Hammer, too, had a decent win rate. What if that did not happen? Then that means my situation never happens. Because I would have never sniped my all. I would have never thought it. I would have never panicked. I never would have been in the wrong state of mind. That all would have never happened if the boosting of the person below me on the leaderboard did not happen first. Fairness. I was punished. Like I said, at the start of the stream and in the title, I was banned. That's not a joke. That's not clickbait. My main account was banned for 1 week in Bloons TD Battles 2. So I was punished, but other parties weren't. Now, shouldn't say all other parties because Black Hammer 00 was banned, but nobody else involved. Now, Black Hammer gave 8 wins to player. And Ninja Kiwi decided to ban Black Hammer. But Black Hammer is an alt account. I'm sure they don't care. Usually, if your alt account gets banned, it's not that big of a deal because it's not your main, right? It's an alt account. So, it's all right. Like, it's good. We'll take it, right? But just feels a little unfair that my main account gets banned, but player doesn't, because it's impossible to prove that player coordinated this to happen. But remember, don't forget. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find it. Do not, please, 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 do not forget about this here. So, these are the matches, the 25 most recent matches that player played in the last season. Player, Black Hammer. Let's not worry about player, okay? Player is always going to be on the left. We got Black Hammer per chance. Black Hammer per chance. Got me so numb per chance. Black Hammer got me so numb. Buff Dude, Crunkette. Black Hammer per chance. Black Hammer per chance. Dylan Crunkette. Banana. Great Goat at GC. 014. Crunkette. Banana. Black Hammer. Oh no. Black Hammer. Banana. Okay, those were 25 most recent opponents. And also, do not forget that 2 of those matches, and possibly even more, I just can't think off the top of my head right now, but 2 of those matches were these 2 matches right here, where it involved both Black Hammer and Perchance. Perchance down on round 5 with Tack Farm Wiz. And multiple times on round 8 with Tack Farm Wiz. Not impossible, but for it to happen multiple times, come on. And then Black Hammer, top 25 player. Remember, at one point had an 86% win rate of the season. Down on round 3. On Star. Not a very difficult map. Actually, in fact, one of the easiest maps in the entire game. Let's go back to where we left off. So, like I said, I was punished, but other parties weren't. So that's why it's titled Fairness. I think my 2 wins versus all of these wins, if we add them up, there's 3 from Dip-Ins or Got Me So Numb. There's 6 from Perchance, and then there's 8 from Black Hammer. That is 17 wins. Again, all of those games against these 3 alt accounts, they did not win 1 against player. Not 1 game. 2 of those accounts are both top 25 players, at the very least, giving minimum 20 elo. But from my 2 games that I played against my alt, that my friend was on, I get 28 in total. So I think there should be consistent ruling for all players. That includes myself. I don't want to be put above anyone else. Just because I'm a YouTuber, that doesn't mean anything. But I just feel like if I get in trouble in some way, then the other parties should also get in trouble in some way. Again, I'm not trying to shy away from my mistakes. I messed up. I am sorry. I won't do it again. But I think that should be across the board, right? Solution. Now, obviously, I'm going to be biased. But I'd say a top 3 batch be granted to me. Now, my elo before boosting waves on both ends was top 3. Like I said, I had it pretty much in the bag. I had a season-long performance that earned me top 3 until the very chaotic end. The last hours of season 37 is where it lost me top 3. All season long, I grinded, played, got so much better at the game, learned metas, learned new strategies, just got, again, overall better, just for it all to crumble in the last hours because of my response into the actions of the player that was ranked just below me. Again, whether it was coordinated or not, that player was involved. Or we can have a shared top 3 because this has happened before. Now, I don't remember exactly when it happened, but the Hall of Master Sweats know what I'm talking about. It was with Gossi, and then who's a former player, and then somebody else. But they shared a top 3 badge for a season. And with this, it acknowledges legitimate performances, so we can just get rid of the elo that was boosted on both accounts. But since we don't know if player or not coordinated it, they can keep their badge, because I feel like it's a little unfair. I don't want, understand that in the solution, I don't have ban player here. I don't even have ban per chance. I mean, you should probably ban per chance, but I don't even have that. I don't think players should get banned. And I don't want any hate of any kind to anybody, even the players that are clearly boosting. At the end of the day, we are playing a monkey popping balloon game. Do I think they are terrible people for boosting in a monkey popping balloon game? No, I don't. Do I think that it's wrong for them to do? Of course. Just like how I'm owning up to my mistake of it being wrong. But I don't think that automatically makes you a terrible person or anything. But if we acknowledge the legitimate performances, I definitely would be top 3. And I feel like this is no harm, because player gets to keep their top 3 because that's what they ended up receiving. I get to have the top 3 as well, because that was my goal. It was top 10 originally, but changed to the top 3 because we were within reach. And again, had it in the bag until the boosting happened. So obviously I'm biased, but yeah. Now I got closing statements. Got to recognize the mistake. And I'm sure people have already thought this in their head. So 2 wrongs don't make right. That is in fact a fact. Just because that happened on player's end doesn't mean that I automatically just get to do the same thing right back. I'm not trying to excuse what I did, but I truly was not in the right state of mind. And when you think about it and look at it, I only gave myself 28 elo, guys. It's not like it even made an impact. What I did had no impact whatsoever. Players still would have been ahead of me regardless. So I should have just not did it. But again, I wasn't in the right state of mind, and it's so easy to look back on your mistakes and be like, why did I do that? Because I wasn't thinking straight. I wasn't thinking right in my head at the point, because I've never grinded before. And that was a scary moment, because it's like you pretty much had it secured for so long just to lose it within the final hours. But I really do think this is a misunderstanding. I truly, truly do. I don't think what I did reflects me as a player in general. I'm not a perfect player. I've gotten flagged before, actually. I'll be honest with you guys now. I've map scummed. If you don't know what map scumming is essentially when you disconnect in the pregame lobby, or you surrender round 1 or 2 because you didn't get the right map, or you didn't get a map that you liked. Usually I do this because I'm a content creator and I need certain maps for certain videos. But there's really no excuse for it. You should not map scum, right? So I've gotten flagged before. I am not the perfect player, but I truly think that all what happened in the last moments of season 37 was just a big, big, big chaotic thing. And we made some actions that we don't normally do. And it's just a misunderstanding, because like what I did does not reflect me as a player. But with the closing statements as well, I would like consistency across the board. If this were to ever happen in the future, I would hope that Ninja Kiwi wouldn't dismiss someone's claims of boosting, especially backed up with evidence. This is why I decided to make this entire presentation, to really compile all the evidence together. Again, I'm not trying to throw shade or anything. I do not want to attack anyone. I don't even want to attack player, Black Hammer. It doesn't matter. I don't want any hate or any harm of any sort to be sent at anybody. I love this game so, so dearly. I've played it ever since they released it. I'm one of the only people to have stuck around for this long too. It's about to be 4 years old, which is crazy. I'm one of the only YouTubers that have stuck around. It's really me, Ryan Mahalik, Kevin Gaming, maybe a few others. That's it. I'm very, very loyal to this game. I do truly, truly love it. I might complain about it sometimes, but I feel like with everyone's favorite game, that's kind of what they do, right? I just want to see the best for this game. But fairness and integrity moving forward, 100%. I would like to see that. In the past, this has happened. Similar situations have happened, and nothing has been done. Obviously, there's 2 sides to every story, but this is what I've heard from Hall of Masters players. But I thought I would throw that in there because, of course, boosting's an issue. Elo nuking is an issue. So it would be nice, you know, moving forward if we can make some changes and hopefully make things better. So we're going to start a movement, though. If you want to support me, I'd very much appreciate that. But of course, if after hearing this entire presentation, if you don't agree with me and you think that I should remain banned or I don't deserve T3, that is absolutely fine. Okay? I don't want anyone to be biased just because they watch me and like me. If you think what I did was wrong and I deserve what I deserve, that is your opinion, and that is completely fine. But if you do want to support me, hashtag BoltrixT3, maybe reach out to support@ninjakiwi.com. But do not be disrespectful. Be respectful. Do not send them hate. Do not send anyone hate. That is not the goal here. The goal here is to spread awareness for boosting, elo nuking, and also, of course, my T3. But I kind of need your guys' help because I've tried to talk to Ninja Kiwi myself. And I don't want to get too into it because, you know, it's kind of private. But I'd appreciate it if you do agree with me and you do see my side and you do support me, that you reach out to them. I've included a link in the description as well of this stream if you want to click there. But you can actually support or email them or talk to them through their support team right through the game, which I'm going to show you right now. So on the home screen, you click on the 3 bars on the top right here. Then once this pops up, you go to profile. It doesn't matter that my user ID or anything showing. I don't care. But then you click on this little question mark right here. And then, of course, you click the red contact support button. And, of course, you can just write in the description right here. Again, please do not send hate. That is not the goal. I do not want that. I love this game. I love Bloons. It's been my life. It's been my career for years now. I've been playing it ever since 2016 technically, but I always say 2017 because it was 2016 December. So I just rounded out the 2017, but been playing this game for a long time. I'm very loyal. I appreciate Ninja Kiwi for everything that they've done for me. I just think that everything that happened was, it just went by like that. It was a huge misunderstanding. And hopefully they reconsider. But at the end of the day, you know, they can do what they want. I understand and respect any decision that they do end up making. But kind of wanted to just make this stream/video just to inform everybody about what happened and whatnot. Why I haven't been uploading as much as well, because I've been so focused on the grind last season, and then I ended up getting banned. I am able to play on my old account, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I'm allowed to play the game still. They don't care about that. And they're also okay with me, you know, voicing my opinion and my thoughts and whatnot. They don't want to censor me or anything, so shout out to Ninja Kiwi for that. Appreciate y'all. But that's it, y'all. That's going to be the stream. Different stream for sure. It doesn't feel right for me to just like, all right, let's get into the queue or anything like that. So I kind of just want to end it off there. If you guys want to leave your opinions or thoughts in the comments below, I'd really much appreciate that, because I did not read any chat at all during this entire stream. Didn't read anything. So feel free to leave what you guys think down in the comments below. Again, whether you agree, disagree, I am all for it, and I respect anyone and everybody's opinion on this matter, because I know there's like a lot of angles that you can like look at it from. So again, just let me know what you guys think down below. But that's going to be the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back with some normal content here soon, and I'll give you an update if Ninja Kiwi gives me one. So appreciate everybody for being here, and I'll see y'all on the next one.